For all you vegans out there listening, it's fine. If you want to do it, if you think it's healthy, it's not. Do your research. But if you want to, first of all, it's something you have to at least eat meat sometimes, like on an Eid and stuff, right? Yeah. And by the way, we kill animals. Allah says, "Inna ataynak al-kawthar, fasalli li rabbika wanhar." This is a command.
It's a command to the
Allah has promised you al-kawthar. Therefore, worship your Lord and sacrifice.
If you think it's immoral, and that's why you're a vegetarian or a vegan, you have a problem.
What are you saying about our deen?
Yeah. If you think that just that particular slaughterhouse was not done well, that's a different subject.
That's a different topic. If you don't want to support, I don't support factory farming. I get all my stuff from halal, organic, free range, grass-fed, all that stuff. By the way, readily available nowadays. Yeah. This is not a commercial, but you can get it in ShopRite. Yeah. It comes from Australia. It's all halal, grass-fed. Yeah, grass-fed, halal, free range. They don't abuse the animals. They don't use steroids or hormones or any of that stuff. That said, if you're eating vegetables because you're vegan, because you don't want to harm the animal, you don't even want to drink their milk or eat their cheese or something. It's just ridiculous.
It's ridiculous because the cow would get really they're not. He's gonna get sick if you don't milk him. So what are you gonna do? Let it waste?
It's a whole thing, right? Yeah. But even if that, right? You're like, I don't want to use animal products. Just harvesting, like they eat a lot of tofu. Just harvesting 1 acre of tofu kills more animals than I consume in an entire year. Like you have snakes and mice and voles and foxes. Deer. You like deer, right? Deer are actually big, large herbivores. Yeah. Baby deer nest in fields. And one of the, you know how that thing about deer is freezing in the headlight? Yeah. Well, it's even more pronounced when they're little. When they're frightened, when they're like newly born fawns, they just freeze. And so when that harvester comes through harvesting the grain and stuff, it just chops their head right off.
Because you're talking about like a machine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see what you're talking about.
Those big machines that come through.
Non-operated by human. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, because nobody's coming through with a knife cutting down the stalks. They would take forever.
That's true.
So when they run these harvesters through, they're killing literally thousands of animals per acre.
And I have another point, another question.
You would have to think that small animals like rabbits and mice and voles and squirrels and maybe even baby deer and snakes are all far less valuable than one cow. So your ethics don't even make it. You're an idiot.
I have another question for you guys. All right. Why is it, it's for these vegans, okay, that you imagine that green piece of kale that you're ripping up and cutting up doesn't have any feelings?
Wallahi, it does.
It does. It does.
So they've done this experiment, right? There certain plants, if they hear the sound of a certain caterpillar chewing that eats that kind of leaf, they release toxins, right? That makes the leaf taste very bad. Yeah. No, it's a protection. It makes the leaf taste bad. But here's the crazy part. Even if you play a recording of it, it will have that chemical reaction. And if you play a recording of something that sounds very similar but is not the actual caterpillar, it won't react. So it can discern. Because it's the sound is almost identical. Humans would probably be, it's the same sound. But the plant can discern that, right? Just off the vibrations in the air, because it doesn't have, obviously, ears or an auditory nerve.
When we get to the nano level of everything, we're going to discover that when we breathe in oxygen and transform that and exhale CO2, that you have done great damage and trauma to those oxygen molecules.
And as
what are you going to do then?
Yeah, and as Muslims,
what are you going to breathe in?
By the way, all you vegan Muslims, it's not like an atheist Muslim. You can be a vegan Muslim and a Muslim vegan. And I'm sure those are two very different things in your community. The grass testifies against you on the Day of Judgment. So what are you talking about these plants? Just because it doesn't have eyes that look at you like, sad. You're going to kill me? Like, give me a break.
And what we believe, subhanAllah, the lamb or the cow or whatever it is, that is slaughtered in the correct way by a mu'min. He is the shaheed of the cows. Yeah. He is a martyr in the type that's how they view it. Same you would. Why do you live? You live for a cause, and you would die for that cause, right? The sacred is what you would die for. What is greater than life, right? And what do you say of those people who died for a cause? You honor them, right? These are honors. You would wish to die a martyr, right? A shaheed in the correct way. Likewise, in the world of animals, if you're so worried about them, then don't make theories from yourself. Take it from the messengers. These animals, when he dies properly, goes for a mu'min to eat him properly. This is why he was existed. This is his martyrdom, right?
And before anybody goes, oh, you're going so hard on these vegans, they're just trying to be ethical. You're not more ethical than the Anbiya. And you're not more ethical than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And if this was something that we shouldn't do, we would have been told it, because he didn't hide anything and he didn't fail to give us any of the message. So just stop it. If you think it's healthier, great, good for you.
That's your
you know,
choice.
you may want to read up on that too, because you probably, I think you're wrong. I've done a lot of research on it, but fine, that's one argument. But if you think you're more ethical than the prophets and the generality of the Muslims, because of something that's really like kind of a new idea, and you're ignoring the realities that, forget about what the other vegans say. We believe that plants, we believe that plants also will testify against you if you harm them. So what are you doing?
SubhanAllah. And not only that, there are people out there who don't even have never eaten meat in their lives, and you're rejecting it for some. This is a kibr, right? Honestly, this is arrogance.
And not even a Muslim vegetarian or vegan, but there's like vegans that like own pets. Yeah. They adopt pets. Yeah. It's haram to say you own it. No, seriously, they get offended. I don't own this pet. I've adopted it, or I rescued it, or whatever. It lives with me. We're symbiotic. Yeah. But they don't own the pet.
They don't own the pet.
No, it's really insulting to them. It's not a slave. It's a pet. Yeah. So that they will take a cat. Now cats are obligate carnivores. Yeah. They can't eat.
Oh, what are they gonna do with that?
They feed them a vegan diet, and then the cat gets sick and dies. Oh my God. You people are so dumb.
So dumb. The reason you have cats, the reason why Allah made us cats, not just to keep us company. Our cats are very functional. We don't have a mouse or a rat in the house. Yeah. You don't have a mouse in the house if you have a good one or two cats. Yeah. They go into wherever, right? They finish that up. If I see a bug, I don't have to worry. The cat will get it. Yeah.
Wait, so I haven't seen a centipede for months in my house.
So you're telling me people will feed a cat a vegan diet,
and then it gets sick and dies?
Here's
or they'll say you have to supplement with vitamins and stuff. You supplement, just let it eat meat. You're torturing the poor thing.
The amount of money they're spending on that, right? Could have been feeding like a family for like a month. And here's the thing with these people: if you're so ethical out there, eventually, why are you superior to any other animal? What happens when you cross paths with like a bear or a cougar that is hungry and wants to take a bite out of your kid? Right.
Well, this is what I said. I think I said it. I might have said it on Facebook or something, or in an email to someone. But all of these people that think that they're super ethical because of this, right? Why don't you just go feed yourself to a grizzly bear or something?
That's the logic. Yeah.
Go to Alaska, jump in front, go feed yourself to a grizzly bear that's hungry, and give up your life.
I mean, we can make the argument: why did they kill Harambe then?
Why that?
Why did they kill Harambe then?
That's not even so.
Right,
we're talking about the
gorilla.
The gorilla,
right? Yeah. Like, according to a vegan, it's all the same thing, right? So why'd you kill it? You should have let the baby.
Should have let the baby die.
That's true.
Yeah. But no, you can't say that.
Because that mom that gorilla had like baby gorillas, and he had dependents. She had dependents. They were a family relying upon that one gorilla. That's their,
Right. Yeah. So I heard a comedian talking about that, and he refused to use the name, and he was like, because gorillas don't have names. It's a gorilla, right? He goes, its gorilla mother didn't name it that. No. He said some goofy white lady in cargo shorts gave it that name, and I'm not going to play it into her fantasy world where gorillas are called by proper names.
And tell me, isn't that recognizing some degree of control and ownership?
Yeah, of course.
And you
named it.
Here's the funny thing.
Itself.
You're these animal activists. They didn't want to shoot the gorilla. Hold on a second. Backtrack. The gorilla is trapped in a little cage. Isn't that the bigger issue?
The zoo is haram,
right?
Zoos are probably haram.
The zoo itself, in our Sharia, we wouldn't accept it, right? Yeah. Forget talking about they shouldn't have shot the gorilla. Why is the gorilla trapped in this little 10 by 10 pen?
Well, they'll say that we're doing it to preserve the gorillas.
You know that this is haram for us. You cannot go trap a lion in a 100 by 100 foot thing, and no matter how much grass
throw it dead meat.
You know that it needs to hunt. It needs to hunt. It needs to get those hormones out of its body. Get them going.
Well, the thing about the mouse, yesterday my wife was like, "Oh, there's this like little crack between the cabinet and the dish." She was like, "What if a mouse can get into there?" I was like, "First of all, a mouse can get through like smaller than that." Yeah. But secondly, you see the monster cat we have in this house? That thing's like 16 pounds.
Survive. That thing will not survive.